Oh, the next one is yours. Yeah. That is so you. You got to do it. You got to do it.
If you can't learn to fake, I feel so bad. If you can't learn to fake excitement over gifts that look like they were made in kindergarten or crafts class, just as well as you learn to fake a, I don't know if Hi loves, this is Ro. Welcome back to my channel. This is just a really quick intro. Joe and I did a video called You're Not Ready to Be a Prison Wife If ... video, the last video that we posted, and this is part 2. It was really long. It was almost an hour-long video. So we broke it up into 2 parts. I'll post the first one up here in the cards, and this is the second one. This one's a little bit longer. It's about 30 minutes. There really wasn't a good breaking point for me to break this into a third video. So I encourage you to watch the whole thing. Watch it in parts if you need to, but if you watch the end, it's hysterical. Some of it we do some teaching moments where it's mixed in. We share our stories, and we also give you just a couple of little tips that you probably want to know, and you'll learn throughout. So enjoy, and without wasting any more time, here is part 2 to You're Not Ready to Be a Prison Wife If ... Make sure you give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. Just hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe so you never miss a future video, and everybody that's here, make sure you ding that little notification bell and then select all, so this way you never miss a future video. YouTube's been a little funky with their notifications, and I know a lot of people are complaining that they're not getting a notice when my videos are either published or I go live. So that's one way that you can get those notifications a little bit more consistently.
Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. If having someone watch you kiss your husband and judge it, too much tongue, a second too long, hands not visible, if that bothers you, you're not ready.
Absolutely. Even though it still bothers me. Okay, if the word no is something you struggle with saying or hearing.
Yeah, because prison thrives on no. I know who wrote this one. If you can't stand hearing double negatives or incorrectly conjugated verbs, a prison relationship probably isn't for you, because even the smartest and most educated inmate speaks prison slang.
Amen. Amen. Shout out to whoever wrote that one.
And we pick it up too. I have words in my vocabulary now on a regular basis that I never used before I became a prison wife.
The worst. If you legitimately expect the warden of an entire prison to pick up the phone when you call or call you back when you leave a message, not happening.
Yeah, if you have the warden on speed dial, you have a problem, and you need to manage your expectations.
Seriously.
If having your bathroom break timed bothers you. No.
Do they do that? Because they don't do that by me.
They don't do that by me, but what they will do, and I have had this happen, the day that I had the migraine that I talked about, it happened, and then there was one other time that he got strip searched like 4 times that day because I went to the bathroom as soon as I got there. Like, I signed in, and then before I even went to see him and sit down at the table, I went to the bathroom as soon as I got there. So they thought that I was bringing something in and using it as an opportunity to put it in the bathroom.
That's so interesting, because
so he got strip searched a bunch that day.
That's crazy, because on the way there, I chug so much water because I drink so much water throughout the day. So I know that I'm going to get really dehydrated and potentially, like you, get a headache. So instead of that happening, I'll drink a ton of water. But then the first thing I have to do when I get there is go to the bathroom.
Right. Yeah. It never occurred to me that would happen. Like, it wasn't anywhere in my thought process. But he explained, like, we had our morning visit, and then when he came back for the afternoon portion of the visit, because at his facility we get like a few hours in the morning, and then they make you leave and come back over lunch, and we get a few more hours in the afternoon. So when he came back for the afternoon portion of the visit, he was like, I got strip searched this morning because you went to the bathroom as soon as you got here. And I was like, wait, what? He had to explain.
It makes sense. I mean, now it makes sense to us, but back then we're like, do what?
Right.
Okay, so if you don't know how to have a whole fight, start to finish, end a makeup session, all in a 30 minutes flat.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. If no, I love this one. If knowing some guy gets to see your husband's naughty bits bothers you because you haven't seen him in years.
True story. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're just not.
Right. Like if you're never jealous of your husband's silly just a little bit.
Oh my God, I think this one was mine. If you're not willing to be seen in public dressed like a colorblind nun because you had to go to the Dollar Tree or shop out of someone's trunk when none of your backups worked.
Been there, done that.
Got the t-shirt. Oh my God, this is funny too. So one time there was never a problem with open-toed shoes. You could wear flip-flops if you wanted to, no problem. Well, one day they decided that they were going to change it. So no open-toed shoes, no warnings, nothing. And they tried to play it off. Well, we told the guys to tell you. It's the middle of the summer. So everybody goes to the Dollar Tree and everybody gets the same pair of, they were calling them nun shoes, like really ugly sneakers, right? So the next time I go back to visit in a couple weeks, it's with Adam's mom. I told her, I was like, make sure that you wear closed-toed shoes because otherwise you're going to have a problem. And I told her the whole nun shoe story, right? And I bought myself like this cute pair of Steve Madden, like slip-on sneakers from Kohl's or something like that, because it's really hard to find shoes that are closed-toed in the summer. So we get to the facility that day and she goes, oh my gosh, are those the nun shoes that I was wearing? I got so I never wore them again. I gave them away.
Right? Like,
They
oh,
weren't the
those are the
cutest.
ugly shoes you were telling me about.
Like, no, they're the cute ones I just bought.
Here's another one, and I think this one was mine, actually, because I chimed in. We were sharing the brain again, and I chimed in at the same time you did. If you're not ready to walk into afternoon visit wearing the same exact thing you wore to morning visit when you were literally just there just an hour before and have them tell you you need to change clothes.
I think I was laughing more at the fact that you and I posted the same thing like 3 or 4 times without
we did.
it than I was at these hilarious answers.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, if you're not ready, oh, I'm reading yours again. If you're offended by the color international orange.
Prison orange is in nobody's color wheel.
But it's the new black.
Let's see.
Is this yours? This sounds like you.
This is mine. If you don't have an entire case of your beverage of choice, 6 seasons of your favorite show, 3 of your friends on speed dial, and an entire afternoon slated for napping to get through an unexpected 2 to 3 day lockdown.
I knew that was you. It sounds so much like you, and it's so true. If you're not prepared for every word you write, and I do mean everyone, to be read by at least one other person before it gets to the intended recipient, and he happily crawls into his bunk to spend some quality time.
Oh, yeah. Get used to having 0 privacy. If you don't understand the term snail mail. I think we're probably the only people who still use that term.
Exactly. Yeah. Or use snail mail, period. If you're not ready to have to occasionally talk yourself down from screaming at happy couples and punching them in the face or throwing bricks at people you see who are together, but ignoring each other to play on their phones in public, no, Joe, you may not flip that couple holding hands the bird just because ...
Yeah. I tend to try to stay in my bubble and just be happy and grateful for what I have, but every once in a while, that green-eyed monster comes out to play, and you just want to yell at all the happy couples around you who have their people. If you are unable to pose for a picture involving handcuffs, that's meant to be family-friendly.
True story.
That's a great one. Oh, the next one is yours. Yeah, that is so you. You got to do it. You got to do it.
If you can't learn to fake, I feel so bad. If you can't learn to fake excitement over gifts that look like they were made in kindergarten arts and crafts class, just as well as you learn to fake a big a toilet paper rose. Obviously, it's written out more dramatically, but I don't think I could do that.
I just wanted you to hear I just wanted you to make the O noise.
I know. True,
Oh, here's mine. If you're going to panic and think he's dead every time he misses a scheduled phone call because he always calls on Tuesdays at 7:06 and now at 7:15, and does anybody have the number of the prison because I need them to do a wellness check?
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, laughing because it's so true. We see that every single day.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it myself at the very beginning, when other people had to come tell me, baby, it's prison, calm down. It's going to happen. Like, get used to it.
This one's written. And we're going to have to explain it, but it says, if you don't know how to use Google. Do you want to explain it or do you want me to?
All caps. If you don't know how to Google, you are not ready to be a prison wife.
Not ready.
Google is your friend.
And the reason why that's so funny to us is because a lot of people just feel they're just so not thinking because they're wrapped up in emotion, and they come to a page and they spend their time typing, and then they have to wait for an answer where they literally, and who knows that people would actually know the answer if it's something so specific to you, but then you could have done the exact same thing, spent 3 seconds, gotten back all the Google results you needed for it, but you weren't thinking. Like, Google is your BFF when you're in this situation. It's great to lean on other people, but if it's something so simple that you can Google, why are you going to other people and then having to wait for a reply?
Right. Like, why are you coming on a page and typing a question like, does anybody have the phone number to X facility? When you can Google phone number of X facility and get your question answered.
Yep.
Like, at some point, you have to learn how to do your own homework.
Right.
And so that is a semi-serious thing. Like, of course, we always want to help each other. But when Rose started this whole thing, she was all alone. She started SPWF specifically because there was nothing like this for family members of people in prison. And when I came along and I was looking for support and I was looking online, SPWF was one of the only resources I found because there's nothing out there. So I came into it and I was very thankful to have SPWF, but there were a lot of questions that they couldn't answer for me that I had to learn how to answer myself. I had to get online, I had to research, I had to track down information. And it's one of the reasons that so many of our volunteer team at SPWF are so good at, you come in and you ask a question, we throw up a link, we throw up a website for you, or they will they will be like, here's where you go and here's where you find that information. Because at some point we've all had to do that ourselves. We've all had to educate ourselves and do our own homework and learn how to do this without expecting other people to be around to do it for us.
Right. And there's things that you just have to ask yourself, is this something that I need personal experience from, or is this a fact that I need to look up? So for example, there was a girl that posted last year in the winter, can I wear over the knee boots to such and such facility? Great question. Google's not gonna be able to answer that for you, but somebody who goes there will. But like Joe said, does anybody have the phone number to X facility? Google that. Because you're going to get that answer faster from Google than you are from us. And then you're taking away time from people who have jobs, have kids, have everything else going on in their real life, and can be answering the person who's in crisis, who actually needs a physical body.
Right. Oh, here's a good one. If you are not okay with getting up at 3 a.m. to get in line for 8 a.m. processing, so you're first at the vending machines.
Might have been there too. Frog in my throat. If there are not occasionally, every once in a while, times, if you've been doing this a minute, when you think to yourself that not having to shave your legs, share the bed, clean hair out of the sink, that's not yours, put up with anybody snoring, or not be able to get up at 2 a.m. and go to get a Slurpee without explaining it to anybody really isn't all that bad. That's yours. You had to have written that.
I did. I'm so busted. If you're not ready to have a cover story for nosy strangers who insist on sharing their entire life story, and asking a bunch of questions about yours in places like airports, gas stations, the doctor's office. This one is especially important for those of us who live in certain parts of the country where this crap is just expected.
I'm happy I live in the New York City area
Right.
where nobody talks to anybody.
Right. Your upper East Coast where people just go about their business. They're just very focused on. Down here in the South, I can go to the gas station and stand in line for 5 minutes waiting for the line to move. And by the time that line has moved to the cash register, I know them. I know I've heard about their granddaughter and their sister's gallbladder surgery and their dog. Like, we know it all because it's just the culture down here is to be very friendly and share lots of personal information right off the bat. And cover stories are kind of important. You know, we joke about it, but for instance, if I'm trapped on a plane, flying 3,000 miles across the country to see my husband for 7 hours, and I'm sitting in a seat next to a person I don't know from Adam, who wants to know where I'm going and why, and they won't leave it alone because they're super friendly or they just want to get to know their seatmate. I don't know that person. I don't know what their personal experience is with the criminal justice system. I don't know if they've been the victim of a violent crime or if they have strong feelings about, you know, capital punishment or death row, or because when people find out that you are in a relationship with somebody who is incarcerated, they take that as the free reign, even when they're not being ugly about it, to express their opinions on things. When you're in a controversial relationship like this, people have their opinions and they want to express those. So if I'm flying out to visit my husband, my cover story, and Ro is the one who helped me come up with this. She said just enough detail to be true, but not so much detail that you're uncomfortable. And so my husband is a college student, truth, at Oregon State. We just leave the penitentiary part off. He's studying business on a scholarship, which is true. And he will be moving to live with his family in Georgia when he's done, which is true. I gave them the bare bones story that satisfied them without telling them all of my business, without putting myself in an unsafe position. And it satisfies that curiosity when people are just making small talk and they don't really care anyway. And then after you answered the initial question, you just change the subject and ask them about themselves, because most people like to talk about themselves way more than they like to talk about you.
Absolutely. And it's true. And start thinking about it now so you don't get caught in a situation where you're caught off guard if it's something that you don't feel comfortable sharing. Because like Joe said, yeah, and people might be loud and proud and this and that, but it can get dangerous real quick. And that's something that we lectured about, 3 years ago?
At least, yeah.
We gave a workshop at the family conference. Like, it's not, you just have to keep yourself safe. We'll just leave it at that. And we can talk about that another time.
Right.
How dare we get serious on this video?
Right. That's a whole other video, people.
Okay. You're not ready if you're put all of your effort into planning visit, making sure you and the kids have all the backup clothes, booking that room, getting those quarters, and waking up at 3 a.m. to make the 3-hour drive only to have visit canceled for whatever reason that comes up. I literally just went on visit with them. I was like, yeah. No.
Right.
Oh
my gosh. And thankfully I have never experienced that, but I did come close. And the one time that I came very close to that happening was the week of our wedding.
Oh.
They had a riot literally the week before we were supposed to get married, and the whole prison shut down. Like, all the blocks went on lockdown.
I've ever heard.
And they did not know when it was going to be lifted. And so there was a very real possibility, because they only hold weddings there twice a year. And so I had done everything. I had the preacher, I had the dress, I had all the plane tickets booked, and like everything was done. It was set. Like, and then this riot happened. And I was like, the lockdown got lifted for like a day, just long enough for him to call me, tell me what was happening. And he told me at that point, this thing is not squashed yet. They may lock us back down. And I remember telling him on the phone, like, you tell them that they better squash this beef because we are getting married on Friday.
That's so scary. Oh my God.
As though, you know, like my outrage was going to do anything about it.
But you know you're not ready if you think it would.
Right? I'm not ready. Not ready if you think you're actually going to, you know, make a difference there. But thankfully, like a small minor miracle occurred. We did manage to get married. We had like our weekend, and then they went back on lockdown the following Monday.
Oh my God.
So we got married in that like perfect little window between. But yeah, if you aren't ready for prison to just completely disrupt all of your plans, then we're not ready. Yeah. Oh, I like this one. It's not a funny one, but it's a good one. If you're not ready to hold your head high and move on with your bad self, when people talk smack about you, your loved one, or incarcerated individuals in general, P.S. you might want to stop reading the comment sections on public social media posts for your own sanity. Now, that is gospel truth.
Seriously, might have to print that one out and put it on the mirror or something.
Right, staple it to your forehead.
Real. Good one. Whoever wrote that, thumbs up. If you don't like prison shows.
Oh, yeah. If you are personally offended by tattoos, or if you can't wrap your head around the fact that the dudes who you're now friends with and call by first name or have on your Christmas card list may be in prison for some really interesting things. But you're just going to have to learn how to be pretty non-judgmental about things.
Exactly. You could do that one. If you can't do anything yourself and need someone else to do it for you. Amen.
Thank you. Amen. Yes and amen. If you are a shrinking violet who does not know how to handle crisis and emergency and the car broke down and the kids are sick and this light bulb's burnt out and the washer just flooded, like if you can't handle that stuff, you're not ready.
At all.
Because it's Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and it will probably go wrong the minute after they get locked up.
Yep.
This is a good one, and it always happens to me. I do this all the time. If you don't drive by a prison bus or a work crew and instantly wonder what your loved one is doing.
Yeah, me too.
I do that all the time.
If you aren't willing to admit your new best friends are named Dutch, Irish, Snake, Thumper, etc.
Here's a good one. If the school dress code pisses you off, it's nothing compared to DOC, so you are not ready.
Preach, girl, preach. If you're going to be judgmental of other prison life, yes.
Yeah, because last time I checked, no matter how much better you think you are than me, your butt was sat right next to mine in that visit room, sweetie. So we're the same, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
If all of your clothes are short skirts, leggings, tube tops, and low-cut blouses.
You're not ready, or you're going to have to get a whole new wardrobe.
Right. You are going to get very used to buying clothes that you're going to, like, I have my closet split into two different, like, sides at this point. Like, visit clothes, real life clothes.
Yep. I'm ready to burn them all. They're like,
oh, yes.
Pilgrim clothes, real life clothes.
Yes, right? Lawyer clothes, real life clothes. I've told Ben that as soon as he gets home, we're having a bonfire party, and every single like cardigan, maxi skirt, like all the stuff that I never ever wear any other time is going in the pile.
Should I send you my old nun shoes that really want the nun shoes?
Yes, send me the nun shoes.
You got it. Okay, if you haven't mastered the multitasking art, this sounds like you. Is this you?
This one's not me.
Oh, wow. You have an imposter. If you haven't mastered the multitasking art of minding your own business while knowing everything that goes on around you, while being polite but demanding respect all at the same time without saying a word when you're wanting to be processed into the visit with a bunch of irritated, impatient, and sometimes rude people, some of which who think they need to try and act harder than their man, all while still trying to look cute.
Oh my goodness. There is so much to unpack in just that one. Like, we could literally take that one comment and make a whole separate video about things that you have to think about and that apply to visiting and how you interact with other people. Like, that's a whole video in and of itself, but that is absolute truth. Here's a good one. I like whoever wrote this one. It wasn't mine, but these people have my attitude. If you aren't prepared to tell anyone that when they start paying your bills, then their opinion might, heavy on the might, count. Otherwise, talk to the hand.
That is your attitude.
Right? Like they're showing their age a little bit there. They must be around my age because the whole talk to the hand thing.
Uh-huh.
I know that's right. I'm a grown woman. And if I succeed or if I fail, it is on my own merit. Nobody else pays my bills. Nobody else raises my children. Nobody else lives in my home. You know what I mean? Like I do for me and mine. So the minute that you don't like something about the way that I do, my question for you is, which one of my bills will you be paying this month? Because otherwise you keep to yourself.
I love it. I love it. Oh, this one's good too. If you don't have a snappy comeback for, why though? You're so pretty.
Right?
Or smart, or
Well, you made a whole video. You made an entire video on things that people say to prison wives that they don't say to any other.
It's amazing. It's one of my, it was like literally my favorite to make. I'll post it up in the card.
And I think that was on there actually. We said, why? You're so
Yeah,
pretty.
it was.
There's so much going for you. Why don't you find a real man? Yeah, we've all heard that one. Yeah.
And the best part,
if you're not prepared to completely change your clothes in the backseat of a car when the COs tell you that you got to change. Now, I had this happen to me. I think it was my first or second visit. I was told to go change my shirt. They have a rule at my husband's facility that you are not allowed to wear blue t-shirts. Well, I thought it was just t-shirts. Apparently it's any color. And so I had on a like blue dress shirt, not thinking, you know, I mean, I was thinking of like the denim or not the denim, like the cotton t-shirts that the guys wear there. Like I knew I couldn't wear that. But I had on the like a lighter blue, like button up dress shirt. And they were very kind about it, but they were like, you can't wear that. It's blue. You're going to have to go change. So I walk all the way back out to my car. I'm rummaging in my bag. I find my shirt, and I don't know why it didn't dawn on me to just take that shirt in my hand and walk back into the facility to change in the bathroom that they had in the waiting area. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but in my brain, I was just trying to get the shirt changed as quickly as possible so that I could just run back into the building and be processed through and go visit. So I'm sitting in the car. I have just peeled off my first shirt and I'm getting ready to put the second shirt on. I get it down around my neck and I hear on my window, like I'm in my bra. All my goodies are on display. I don't even have the shirt all the way down. And the CEO, like 20-something years old, like young enough to be my child, was like, ma'am, as soon as you get done changing your clothes, you need to move your car because you're in the first row. But like inadvertently, I had parked where like the officers parked, and so he just wanted me to move the car a row back. No big deal at all. Happy to do it, but I'm thinking you couldn't have waited until like I wasn't half naked in the car to tell me to move the car, really? So if you're not prepared for little moments like that where you have to interact with other people at your like most awkward or embarrassing times, then you're probably just not ready.
Here's a tip for you guys. I wear my wire-free bra, and then I get like a cami type of bra, you know, not necessarily a sports bra, but built very similar to that, but not as constricted, because a sports bra will make you like push you in and make you look funny. But
Right.
it kind of holds. It's another layer, so your shirt underneath isn't see-through. I usually get them nude or black, depending on what I'm wearing. So then when you have to go to the car, you feel a little bit more covered. And
you have to learn to get to the point where stuff is just ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. Like it's contradicting what literally somebody else just said wearing the same uniform like 5 minutes earlier, and you have to learn how to bite your tongue and just be like, okay, thank you, I will, and just nod and smile and get through it. You know, complain politely later, whoever you got to, but in that moment, the only thing that matters is going to get into the visit and see your person. So,
and if you give them attitude, they're not going to help you. If you are polite about it, they're more apt to work with you later. They might not necessarily let you in wearing, let's say, what you were wearing.
right.
But if you come in and your backup's maybe a little bit, if you're nice about it, then they'll be a little bit more likely to kind of work with you. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting us have fun. And hopefully you had fun with this too, because we need to let loose and laugh a little bit sometimes. If you can't laugh at your life, what's the alternative? So you guys, if you want more like this, if you have ideas for future videos, Joe loves to come on the channel and we love having her. You guys keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey, because you're one day closer to it all being over. Lots of love from my heart and Joe's heart to all of yours. We'll see you in the next one.